Live started, ma'am.
Okay.
You may go.
Yeah. So good morning, everyone, and welcome back to day 5 of IP UTSAV 2025, hosted by AICT and Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell. So we hope you have been enjoying and gaining valuable insights from the session so far. So today we'll be moving to a critical aspect of the innovation journey, that is the significance of IP protection and commercialization. So in the past couple of days, we have been exploring through different types of intellectual property rights, like patents, trademarks, copyrights, and many more. So in today's session, we'll be connecting all these dots to help us understand why it's not just important to create IP, but it's also essential to protect it strategically and commercialize it effectively into the market. So before going into the session, for the participants, a quick reminder. I kindly request to pay close attention to today's session. So the upcoming e-assessment will be based upon today's session. So you can access the session through the official link mic.gov.in IP Week session. Okay. So let's get started. And now it's my honor and privilege to welcome our esteemed speaker for today, Dr. Sripathi Rao Kulkarni. He is the senior principal scientist at CSIR Innovation Complex, Mumbai. He is a renowned expert in IPR, tech transfer, and business development. And previously, he has held key roles at CSIR, CDRI, SciTech, PatenR, and Shanta Biotechnics. He holds a doctoral degree in biotechnology and a postgraduate diploma in patent law. A passionate educator, he has delivered many IPR lectures at institutions NIPER, JNU, and many other CSIR institutes. He has co-authored and authored many books along with several publications. So in recognition of his outstanding contribution to this field, he was named among the top 100 IP leaders of India by the World IP Forum. Sir, thank you so much for joining us today, and we are eagerly waiting for your insights.
Yeah.
Over to you, sir.
Thank you. This week really is very important for the people from the IP fraternity because we had World Creativity Day, we had this Book and Copyright Day, and now tomorrow we are going to celebrate this World Intellectual Property Day. So it's like a festivity week for us, and aptly named as IP UTSAV. And thanks to Yogeji, Jereji, and other team members from AICT and Ministry of Education. So going ahead, and thanks for that short that introduction from your side. And more than me, this is the time for all of us to ponder upon the concepts of intellectual property rights and other associated rights. So I'll try to give you a brief introduction to the today's topic, that is significance of IP and commercialization. I'm trying to share my presentation here. Please let me know if you can see the full screen.
Yes, sir, we can see the screen. Could you please put in the presentation mode?
Yeah, I did that. Can you see?
No, sir, it's still
Okay.
showing the slides.
Now, can you see?
Slide is on, yes. But it has not gone to presentation mode.
It hasn't. No, sir.
I'm trying to
Still
do
the
that.
same, yeah.
Is it okay now?
No, sir, still the same.
Okay.
Double click.
Go back and again I'll stop sharing and then
Okay.
come back again.
Still, sir is sharing his presentation. Are you excited and do you really want to translate your research into practice, you can say yes in the chat box. Unless we see 50 chat box, 50 naturally. Are you excited for the session? How many years we are going to see?
Do you want to make money through your patent? Rupees or plus, you can type.
Can you see the presentation mode now?
We can see the slides, but not in the presentation mode.
Oh, I don't know. I can see it fully.
Maybe then Shruti, you can try. Otherwise,
Yes, I can try from my end, sir.
Yeah.
So is it visible?
Yes, perfect. Go ahead. Yes. Go to sir.
Thanks.
Yeah. So will you be operating from your end?
Yes, sir, I will be doing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll just say next slide,
Yes.
please. Then.
Sure, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry for this small technical glitch. Thank you for the invitation, and this is really a wonderful time to interact with you all coming from different higher education institutions and startups, aspirants. I am told many will be there here. Let us enjoy this 90 minutes of IP UTSAV. This year, it has been given as IP and music, and feel the beat of IP. Going ahead, I would like to introduce you first. Before getting into the actual topic of discussions today, I'd like to introduce you to the CSIR and the CSIR Innovation Complex where I am coming from, and then we'll move ahead with this topic of discussion. Next slide, please. So CSIR, as you know, it's an organization called Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, coming under Department of Scientific and Industrial Research under the Ministry of Science and Technology. Coming to the leadership, the president of CSIR is always the Honorable Prime Minister of India, and the Minister of Science and Technology is the Vice President of CSIR. The Director General is the executive head of this organization, who is also the Secretary of DSIR. And as of today, Dr. N. Kalai Selvi is leading this prestigious organization. And next slide, please. We are a huge talent pool of around close to 4,000 scientists and more than 4,000 technical and support staff for helping out for these R&D endeavors. With a huge network of about 37 national laboratories spread across India, right from Bhavnagar to Jorhat and Srinagar to Trivandrum, across the length and breadth of the country, trying to address several issues of science and technology, including deep sea to space. So you name it, we are into it. And there are several small outreach centers or regional centers, and even you can call it as zonal centers associated with these laboratories. and also 3 specialized units are there, and 1 innovation complex is there at Mumbai, which had recently been inaugurated. That was in January 17th. So this is where I come from. Next slide, please. Just to mention you in brief about our unit here, that is in Innovation Complex, CSIR Innovation Complex. Next slide, please. Yeah. So the main idea of bringing this CSIR Innovation Complex into the existence is to bridge the gap between the lab and the regulator in the healthcare sector. Mostly, if you see the research and R&D and development endeavors of bringing one molecule into the commercialization stage or the market stage, it would require around 12 to 15 years and require several validations and bringing this all the battery of tests as in compliance to the regulatory requirements. So from here we try to help out the startups and MSMEs and the industry units who are interested to who already have some molecules which have shown some indication against some disease indications, and then which require all the preclinical data package generation endeavors that we help them out to be done under one roof from this place. So we will be interacting with startups, MSMEs, CSIR labs, universities, entrepreneurs, industry, international industries. Already this unit has received a couple of requests from Norway, US, and Canada for incubating their spaces. So through this podium, I would request all the aspiring startups who would be interested to take their molecules or biological entities or phytopharmaceuticals to the regulatory mode. We will be happy to interact and help you out. Please do visit this place, which is at Lokhandwala Circle in Andheri West in Mumbai. Okay, that is about a small introduction about our activities. Now, let us get into the most important topic of the day, that is intellectual property rights, and specifically the significance of IP and commercialization. First, we'll deal with significance of IP, and later we'll enter into the commercialization part in the later part of these slides. So, over the last 3 to 4 sessions, what you had been witnessing this week about IP, you already might have been knowing is what IPRs are. They are the legal rights which are granted to a person or a group of persons for creations of mind and intellect, which have the commercial value. So 3 important points that are to be taken care of or to kept in mind when we deal with or when we think of IPRs. That is legal rights having commercialization values, and given for exclusivity, given for the creations of mind and intellect. Okay. So these that are highlighted or emboldened in red are the important concepts that one must have to keep in mind while dealing with intellectual property rights. So there are several instruments relating to intellectual property rights. Next slide, please. So it's a bundle of bundle of rights that include patents, trademarks, copyrights, industrial designs. Then trade secrets, geographical indications include. In addition to that, we have SICLD, that is semiconductor integrated circuit layout designs, and plant variety rights. So when you think of getting into the entrepreneurship and start going for a startup or setting up of an industry, you always have to consider more than protection of more than one intellectual property right instrument. So if this slide shows the choice of IP, that because one product it need not be one protection. You can have multi-pronged protections for these IP instruments. Like if I take an example of a cell phone or a mobile phone, the look can be protected, or the aesthetics of this device could be protected by industrial design. The microchips and boards can be protected by way of integrated circuit topographies. The technology used in antennas, microphones, speakers, and internal chips can be protected by way of patents. Then the phone itself carries the brand image or brand name of that maker or the manufacturer, which could be protected by way of a trademark, and all the literature that is associated with it could be protected by way of copyrights. So a bundle of rights gives you more security and protection and exclusivity for the product that you are planning to bring it into the market. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, I'd like to give you one small example relating to the copyright and designs. This has been in the courts recently, like this picture of a motorcycle. Can you please go into the previous slide first? Yeah, this sketch of this motorcycle could be protected by way of a copyright. Yes, this because it qualifies for a copyrights, because copyrights deal with artistic works, or any literature and artistic works. So this has been protected by way of a copyright. But this sketch also had some design elements, like the shape and size of the tank or the headlight, or for an example, if you can say, all these visual features could be even protected by way of a design. So next slide, please. So ignoring these design element part of this sketch and the work, the manufacturer and the original authors had gone for licensing this copyright to say XYZ Moto for industrial production. And there have been several units that have been manufactured and released into the market uh, over this copyright licensing, and many much of amount has been received by the original authors in the form of royalties. Later, after some time, next slide, please. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah. So once this licensing had happened, they could you please go back to the previous slide? Once the licensing had happened, this author and the licensee had found out that there's another company, a rival company, which came out with a copy of this unit, and they have taken the means resorted to the design part of it, not the copyright part of it, and design part of taking the help of the design part of it, and started manufacturing these units and selling these. Then the original author and the licensee had approached the courts with a lawsuit against this copyright violation. But as per the section 15(2) of the Copyright Act, and when next slide, please. When it was went into the courts, and where it was reviewed, the court saw that even though it is for an Aam Aadmi like us or me, these two products appear to be similar, same, and a clear violation of the copyright. But the courts decided in favor of the zero moto, because the uh, copyright part did not include the protection of the design. The original authors protected the copyright of it, like only the sketch, the functionality part, but they have missed on protection of the design part of it. That is the aesthetics part, which could qualify for the design protection. So you should be all in all, I would like to bring to the notice of this august audience that you should be very careful about what kind of instrument that you are going to protect by way of these intellectual property rights for the long term protection endeavors of your products and designs or any other processes or any other things. So this is very important, and copyright violation is an important aspect one has to take care of while dealing with the similar kind of products that you would like to bring into the market. Next slide, please. Yeah, coming to what constitutes a copyright infringement, especially copyright infringement can take place in number of ways. If you are importing any copyrighted items into the country without the copyright owner's permission, that amounts to copyright infringement. Then to reproduce or perform the copyrighted work or to make derivative works, that also amounts to the infringement of copyrights. But whatever may be the case, the burden of enforcement is always on the copyright holder. So one, if you think that I have registered my copyright and I have so I got my certificate, registration certificate, so nobody can enter into my domain or make copies of it. It is not like that. You should be very careful and vigilant and look around whether your copyrights have been violated by anybody willingly or not willingly, sometimes direct or indirect infringement, because infringement can be a direct infringement where you willfully do that, and sometimes you contribute to this infringement without knowing. Even then you will be making a mistake by copying that. So next slide, please. So this was all about the copyright. Just I wanted to introduce the concept as one of the instruments of intellectual property rights under the bundle of rights that we can have. There are other rights of in IPRs. Which include trademarks. I would like to give you one example because most of you might know trademark deals with the brand image or brand name of the products of the companies. Directly the consumer connects this product to the manufacturer. So yeah, before going to that trademarks part, I would like to bring you a small concept through this podium, like plagiarism and copyright violation and the difference between that. So could you please run these slides? I want you to look into these slides of a sparrow making a nest, the pictures. Could you please run 2 or 3 slides here? And if you see, all these slides show that a picture of a sparrow building a nest, and some accreditations given to that, like this particular slides have been taken, the source of these slides has been given their courtesy and all. So through these slides, I would like to inform you importance or mention you about the importance of copying and giving a recognition or credit or acknowledgement to the original authors. If you see all these slides, I have clearly mentioned the courtesy and the source where from I have copied. I am not claiming that this is my work or the pictures have been taken from my side. No, absolutely not. For this educational purpose, I have downloaded these from the WhatsApp, from the Facebook, where the clear indication of this courtesy that I have mentioned here, from where I have copied, and I am not claiming is it as my own. So next slide, please. So this shows that I am ethical on my part, and I would like to bring bring before you the concept of plagiarism versus copyright violation. these are the important things, because most of the participants or the audience in this group might be from the student lot who are into higher education institutions, or the startup companies who want to establish themselves in the market with their products, or the faculty who teach these kinds of concepts to the students. All have to keep in mind that copying anything, because for your manuscripts or anything you might have to take some references from the databases or the public domain or whatever resources that you have, like books and journals and all. So whatever may be the source, you have to provide the source information for the about the, where you have taken that section from, and uh, uh, give a clear acknowledgement or citation of that reference. So here, plagiarism is using someone else's work and calling it as your own. And there is another concept called copyright violation, where using someone else's. Next slide, please. Where using someone else's work without their permission, even if that work has been demonstrated or used or made in any other country, you might have to take the permission to use it, or without a proper authorization or permission you cannot use it, otherwise it would uh, land you in trouble. So this the at the below of this slide, I have taken the references from where I have I have borrowed this information. So that itself says my ethical approach towards my work. So yeah, this is what, through these slides, I wanted to bring you the concepts of plagiarism and copyright violation. Yeah, please keep this in mind in your future endeavors, whatever you do, wherever you go. Always, this is of most importance in your life. Next slide, please. So I would like to introduce the concepts of trademark with this one small example that recently happened relating to trademarks. We all know that the trademarks relates to the protection of the protection of intellectual property rights relating to symbols, logos, and marks, smell marks, watermarks, or whatever it is. The which has a specific a term of protection by and builds goodwill for the company through their products. So recently, this had come up in the public domain, like Muhammad Arshad, he protected his trademark by way of Zepto, ZDPTO, under the class 35, which covers services like advertising and retail of mobile phones and accessories. So that happened in 2014, and later in 2021, the Zepto, that is Kirana Cart Technologies Private Limited, they have registered the same word Zepto with little different fonts, colors, shape, and size of it, and then protected by way of trademark under class 29 for food items and 39 for delivery items, and also 35 for advertising kind of thing. So Arshad, the original owner of this word Zepto, he had approached challenged this Zepto's Kirana Cards Technologies trademark, arguing that it cannot be protected in the class 35 because he already has his prior rights to this. Then it went into the courts, and the Delhi High Court ruled in favor of Kirana Cart, saying that Arshad had not been using this particular trademark for so many years. So if you are not using it, you might have a chance to lose that trademark. This exactly happened in the case of Whirlpool, which is another classic case. So if you are not using it, then you are not eligible to enforce those rights. But so it is very important. It is not only important to protect and have the registration under your name, but it is equally important to maintain that and continue its use. So these were the two examples that I wanted to give you related to trademarks and copyrights. Now I'd like to take you through the concepts of patenting, which we are which are more important as of today for the people who are associated with the healthcare industry and try to bring in new chemical entities, new biological entities, or phytopharmaceuticals, or any other associated areas. So let us just try to understand the concept of patenting by way of a small comparative study here. Like Mr. X and Y both work hard, both document their observations in their laboratory notebooks very well, and both interpret the results coming out of those experiments very well, and communicate to a journal by way of a manuscript and get it published. And then on that their endeavors contribute significance to the knowledge for the future generations. But the only difference is that Mr. Y is little a smart researcher, and he had introduced this concept of securing priority before communicating to a journal, before putting this knowledge in the public domain. Mr. X had directly published it in the public domain by way of a manuscript in a journal, but Mr. Y had secured the priority by way of filing a patent application at the patent office and then went for publication. This small step might have rewarded him hugely. Next slide, please. So, what kind of rewards one can get out of protecting or filing or securing a priority or filing a patent application before bringing it to public knowledge? You can see this example of the Microsoft Nokia deal. Nokia had been acquired by Microsoft, and out of this 7.2 billion US dollars, $2.17 billion were only pertaining to the Nokia's patents. So that went into the licensing arrangements. So you can imagine 1/3 of the total deal was only for the bundle of patents that were held by Nokia. So this is the importance of intellectual property rights or patents that one has to realize before bringing your knowledge or endeavors into this public domain. Okay, next slide, please. There are several examples that way. Motorola's patents, 24,500 Motorola patents have been sold for $12.5 billion. Just 882 patents of novel had been sold for $450 million. You can imagine how many acres of land you need to have this much amount of money. So this is the significance of intellectual property rights one can have, which could be protected in time. That is the importance of intellectual property that I want to give the feel to this audience. Yeah, next slide, please. So coming to a little bit more on the patent side, a patent is again exclusive right granted by a country for a certain period of time for the owner, one owner or many owners, for making, using, manufacturing, or marketing that invention, provided this invention satisfies some certain conditions stipulated in the law. So, like any other physical property, these patents could be bought, sold, assigned, licensed, gifted, or inherited. The term of patent would be 20 years from the date of filing a non-provisional application. That is again that comes under the filing and prosecution of these patents again. So, Controller General of Patents in India from the through Indian Patent Office gives you this exclusivity for 20 years. Next slide, please. And patents could be for patents could be given for the complete disclosure and this disclosure should be mentioned in the patent specification part clearly, and the sufficiency of disclosure has to be given, what specifically the invention is about, and how to perform this. Okay, it's a quid pro quo kind of thing, that you disclose it to the patent office, and the examiner gives you the grant of patent for a specific thing. Next slide, please. So patents could be anything, like for a protection of a product, for a process, utility, design, and it could be a divisional or a patent of addition. It could be in one country or in number of countries in that region, or a convention, or an international countries, international application, through international application through PCT. You could get into as many number of countries you wish to protect your invention based on its potential, marketing potential. Because IPRs are territorial in nature, the laws pertaining to IPRs differ from country to country. That is why you need to, though you file a single window application at the IP of the WIPO through PCT route, you need to enter into those independent countries that you wish to protect your invention, and validate that invention in those countries. Next slide, please. So let us try to understand what exactly this patent document consists of. It consists of the bibliographic information, the prior art, then the description part, claims, and drawings. Next slide, please. So this is a typical image of a granted patent from the United States Patent Office, and there's a title in it which tells about the compounds composition containing neem seed extracts and saccharides, and it gives the details of the inventors who have actually done these experiments and have contributed significantly to the claims part of it. Then the assignee who had actually funded this project, or the company who is acting as an applicant on behalf of those inventors. And there are other details like application number, international classification codes, then references cited, patents and non-patent references, then who are the examiners, the abstracts, and claims and drawings, all details under in one page. On first page you will see the entire history of this invention. Next, please. So coming to the bibliographical information, all these are the subsections of those things that I have discussed. Next slide, please. Coming to the title, the title should be very crisp and meaningful and most relevant to the invention, and not a lengthy one. You can restrict it to 10 to 15 words. Then the inventors, who can be an inventor. This is more important concept, because not anybody and everybody who makes a simple contribution could be going into an inventor. Maybe the college principal by way of sitting in that chair, or a director of that institute who is distributing the funds for it, cannot become an inventor by default. There is a criteria for inventorship. Whoever had contributed for the claims of that invention, and without whose contribution this entire invention would not be complete, those people can be included as inventors. So very strict measures have to be taken, and unbiased measures have to be taken for deciding the inventorship in the patent application. And as I said, patent assignee is the applicant of that patent, and he's the owner of that patent. These could be the people or the companies who had funded these projects. Next slide, please. Next, please. So there are other concepts like priority date and publication date. The date on which the first patent application is filed in that technology platform carries a priority date. This will be more important for further applications and when it goes to courts and all. But otherwise, it's the date on which the first patent application in that domain had been filed. And there's another date called the publication date. This is the date on which your application will be published in the by way of an official gazette coming from the patent office with all the bibliographic details of this invention. So normally this happens after 18 months of filing a patent application. And there is another concept called international patent classification codes. Like we see when we visit a library, we see the cataloging system, because there will be several number of millions and millions of applications coming, patent applications being received by several patent offices of individual countries and at WIPO through IB. So cataloging kind of system has to be in place, and they have designed a wonderful technology domain based cataloging system called international patent classification, and they give codes for it. Next slide please. So earlier I have shown you one slide, right? So this of the page of the patent, USPTO patent application, patent grant page. So that shows A61K77/00 something as a uh, like international patent classification code. Let us see how it works. A61 is a broader classification. A is for human necessities, and 61 is for K. Is A61K is for medical, dental, and other toilet purposes preparations. In that, again, there is a subsection called A61K/77. Next slide, please. So /00. So this helps us in identifying the technology domains and comparing the inventions, especially when you have some closely related prior art references before going for your public writing or drafting a specification, or comparing the closest prior art that you have. So by prior art, I mean all the information that has been made available in the public domain by way of maybe a newspaper clipping or a photograph or a, proceedings in a conference or a public display or anything that is available in the books or in electronic media on the internet, whatever it is. If your invention that you are applying for protection of a patent, if it is relating to any of the information that is available as such, will not be given for the grant of a patent application, right? Then there is a description of information where all the laboratory experiments have been conducted, the results have been displayed. So all these are put in this. This is a complete disclosure. This is where the efficiency of disclosure is looked at while examining the patent application by the examiners. Next slide, please. And the most important thing in the patent, which is legally considered while any prosecution in courts, is the or by the examiners while referring to prior art references, is the claim information. This is like if you are living in a colony and your house has a boundary wall, right? So that boundary wall defines your property, the scope of your property. Whatever is inside that boundary wall is your property. Similarly, the claims define the scope of this invention, and whatever is inside the scope of invention is your property, and away from that invention is anybody else's who will go and protect it. So you don't have any rights over that. So this claim defines the scope of invention. It could be a main claim, which are they have several dependent claims, and there are some independent claims. This could be pertaining to the compound claim or in composition claim, method claims, whatever it is. I have a small example from the same patent application that I was discussing about neem seed extracts. If you see the first claim, this is the sentence that actually tells about the entire invention. This talks about the solid pesticide composition and some saccharides, then the neem seed extracts. And if you see, all are put in one sentence only, with only one full stop at the end of that sentence. So this is the requirement, that a claim should be a one sentence statement, first claim. And then it can have multiple dependent claims like the second and third. they are dependent on the first and second likewise. And there could be an independent claim adding lot of attributes to it, like the second claim is dependent on the first claim with a small attribute of storage stability included. Then the third is dependent on the second claim, showing some percentage difference in those azadiractants. Likewise, you can build uh, like layer by layer, you can build a strong set of claims for a huge kind of protection, where no competitor will can enter into your thing. That is why drafting a patent specification and claims is an art. It is not at all a science. Anybody who is having knowledge of this can draft a better set of claims. And I have to show that 17th claim is an independent claim, again talking about a different section pertaining to this invention. Next slide, please. So this is all about the claims. Next slide, please. Yeah, as I was mentioning about the inventorship, I would like to give you more specifically about the contribution of inventors into this inventorship of the patent application. For an example, we have an adhesive composition comprising part A, B, C, D, and a catalyst. All three inventors have contributed to it. Then inventor 1 had contributed parts A, B, C. Inventor 2 had contributed for D, and inventor 3 for catalyst. And all three inventors are as filed inventors. But during the prosecution, if the examiner say that this part D is already in the prior art, so it may have to be removed from the set of claims. Since inventor 2 had contributed to this part D only, then his contribution towards the invention goes off, and he may have to be taken out of this group of inventors. So incorrect inventorship is very difficult to fix, and we have to be very careful about setting an inventorship. Next slide, please. So as I said in the earlier slides of definition of the patents, they as stipulated in the as stipulated by the law. So these are the three different criteria that are considered while applying for a patent, while reviewing a patent application that is coming before the examiner. He looks for the novelty of the patent application by comparing with the prior art reference. He picks up he or she picks up one prior art reference which is close to this in present set of claims, and then reviews. If they are same, then there is no grant of a patent on the grounds of the novelty. Next slide, please. Next criteria is an important criteria, which is called the non-obviousness issue. And this is a critical thing. Like suppose you have you have prepared an invention, let us say a missile kind of thing, and then sent it to the examiner with different parts taken from different references, like the CD here refers to compounds, RC for representative compounds, PP is for process of preparation, BA is for biological application, and PC is for pharmaceutical composition. If you have defined NCE with all these details and sent to the examiner, he will refer to the prior art references. And if he thinks that this PP is coming from a prior art reference without any change you have included in this invention or the set of claims, then CD is coming from a reference Y as such, and you have taken as such and put it there in your present invention as one of the embodiment, and prepared a beautiful missile and send it to the examiner, he will not grant a patent. This is very, very critical, and based on the knowledge of the examiner, and he is sitting there with knowledge and experience in reviewing these references, prior art references and the inventions in greater numbers, who is more knowledgeable in that domain than you. And if he thinks that you have copied as such and are giving it without any intellectual input, then he will decline your application. You should be very careful giving proper references and giving the best mode, and also what is the distinguishing feature of your invention. And the other part is the utility part. every patent application should have some industrial application or utility to go for the grant of a patent. Next slide, please. Next, please. Yeah, there are some, as per the Indian Patent Act 1970 and further amendments, there are some non-patentable inventions as per the sections of Section 3D, and frivolous claims are not granted for the patent application. Then those which are primary or intended use for commercial exploitation and which harms the public morality or the human, animal, plant or health of the environment, they also cannot be patented. Then a mere discovery of a scientific principle or an abstract theory or a formulation cannot be patented as per the section 3 of the Patents Act. Next slide, please. So I have a small example for these frivolous and abstract theory related inventions. Next slide, please. Yeah. There was a patent application coming from these Sharma's, Abhishek and Pushpa Sharma, like innovative change to solve any disputed unexpected business loss, closures and financial loss, unexpected accidents. The first, they had three claims, and the first claim was talking about a variable composition, and the second which is black, and second and third were dependent on the first claim. So they were trying to protect a black colored wearable cloth or any other band or footwear, and which is considered to be impacting on the psychology of the person. So the court considered this as a frivolous, and then did not decline the application there. Then section 3D, yeah, you can go back to section 3D. So this is very important as far as the healthcare related patent applications that are coming to the patent office. There were several cases on this. A new use of a known compounds, unless it shows some therapeutic efficacy, cannot be patented. If you come with a small change in a salt or an ester or an ether or a metabolite or some isomers, that cannot be patented in India unless and until you show significant therapeutic efficacy. I have one case here. You all know about the Novartis case. Then this Novartis versus Natco recent case that had come up in front of the Indian Patent Office and courts. So Novartis had come up with this ELTO, a cancer treatment drug, and they argued that EL2O is valid, but claiming that this ELTO had enhanced solubility and bioavailability over the free acid base of the earlier patent application. But NATCO counter argued that this is not a novel invention and it was covered by earlier expired patents, and there was lot hue and cry and arguments and counter arguments, and finally the Delhi High Court, though considered that this is they have already granted an injunction, but the division bench it overturned that decision and finally said that it is not valid because it was a mere salt form of a known substance and also have not shown significant enhanced therapeutic efficacy. So these words are very important. There had been another case relating to Novartis, which again dealt with significant therapeutic efficacy. Like mere admixtures and aggregation of properties cannot be patented. Mere arrangement or rearrangement, those also cannot be patented in India. Next slide, please. Yeah, a method of agriculture or horticulture, they cannot be patented. Even a process of medicinal, surgical, curative and other treatment methods, they cannot be patented in India. Plants as a whole or an animal as a whole, they cannot be patented, which could be given by this example of BTS. Next slide, please. So BTS had come up with a patent application for the methods of synthesizing these hybrids or chimeric cells, and it had gone to the courts, and finally they said it cannot be patent. The examiner was contesting that under the section 3J and 3C it cannot be patented, but then BTS approached the refusal order by declining it or challenging it. Finally, it went into the courts, and courts gave courts gave a verdict in favor of this BTS after hearing, and examiner could not convince the courts on this living thing occurring in nature kind of things. There are several examples like many mathematical and business method patents or computer program per se or algorithms which are not patentable in India. Now there has been a guidelines that had come from the in patent office very recent in March, which came out with guidelines based on several pre-decided court cases relating to the artificial intelligence, blockchain, and cloud computing, Internet of Things, etc. Now it is more flexible, which these guidelines have come up and might go into the practice later. Next slide, please. Please move on 2-3 slides. Yeah. So these guidelines reiterate on the technical effect, which would be the speed of that internet and other components. The best part is to come up with enhanced activities and all. Then those how to review these examples by way of novelty and inventive steps. All these have been given, in, especially relating to the inventions coming from the AI, blockchain, ML, and all, based on the sufficiency of disclosure. Then there are certain guidelines coming up for claim drafting and interpretation relating to the business methods, algorithms, computer programs per se, and mathematical methods, etc. Next slide, please. So, like there are other subsections of Section 3D which are not allowed to be granted for the patents, like traditional knowledge, presentation of information, rule of method, and performing mental act, etc. Next, please. So the filing procedure in India is a little bit exhaustive. I would not like to go into these details as of now. I would request you to visit these slides, which could be shared later. Next slide, please. So once the patent is applied, then it is published, then it is examined. For examination, you need to make a request. Unless and you request for examination, it will not be examined. Then once the examiner is satisfied, then he recommends for the grant of patent, and the grant of patent happens. Then it will be your responsibility to make use of that invention. And for every 3 years, you need to declare the commercial working of that invention as per the section 27 form 27 you need to do. So next slide. So these are the procedures of prosecution. So the most important thing is the disclosure part of it, and if you have not disclosed in your invention specification what is claimed, then you might get, if you have described it in a proper way on what is claimed and restricting it to the claims, then you can get a patent. But if you have not described it in detail what is claimed, then you do, and that will be rejected on the basis of an insufficient disclosure. But if you have not described and what is not claimed, that could be your know-how, and that could help you in technology transfer and licensing and royalties. So where you can demonstrate those processes for your counterpart industry partner. And if you have not described but not if you have described but not claimed, so then there will be a huge loss for the invention. So you should be very careful about framing the scope of the invention by way of claims and the sufficiency of disclosure that you are making it. So coming to the commercialization part, I'll quickly try to wind it up here. So an entrepreneur who wants to bring their products into the market, they have to have certain attributes like endurance, focus, competence, and skill set. Because entrepreneur is like a samurai warrior who, with all the instruments as their weapons like copyrights, trademarks, trade secrets, patents, and industrial design, who enters into the domain and waging a war with all these competitors and examiners and other entities like regulatory authorities, commercial partners, etc. And he, with deep pockets, he need to have mind in by way of intellectual property and also money to protect his invention and bring his products into the market. Next slide, please. So the bigger questions before the applicant, as I said earlier also, what to file, whether it is a compound or a process or a composition. When to file is more important, because if you file it early, then you might lose time in commercialization, because the 20 years exclusivity time starts from the day of filing your complete specification. Or if you keep it for yourself and want to file it later, then you have a chance of losing it to the competition. Maybe your own group people might misuse, or you might end up in disclosing it by way of annual reports or publication or any display in exhibitions or anything like that. Then where to file is more important, like decision on territories, which countries you would like to go. If you have a say leishmaniasis patent, you can't go and protect it in countries where leishmaniasis is not at all there. So all these things, right? So here the IP would be of great use for commercialization of your products. So it could be the IP with potential to protect newly developed technologies, which could be your stars like new technologies, which could help you in commercialization in near future, or the IP with a potential to provide strategic value that could be of strategic importance to you, or some cash cows which generates a lot of monies for the protection by way of protection of IP. Like I said, Nobel's 882 patents have given $425 billion. So that is the kind of cash cow these patents can act, or any other IP can act. Then there are some non-strategic fits. So you need to be deciding whether these patents have to be maintained or renewed or not. So these are the things that will help in understanding the significance of commercialization by way of IP as a tool for studying and culling. Next slide, please. Next, please. So this, if as I was telling, it takes 10 to 15, 12 to 15 years to bring a product into the market, from identifying a target and identifying the hit to lead, then optimization of lead, preclinical development and all, and finally launching it in the market after phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Because I mostly deal with the healthcare related products, though I have put this slide, but it is applicable for anything. And at what stage you need to file a patent is, as I was telling, it is very important, because this is an incentive to innovate your products or inventions. Next, please. Next slide, please. Yeah, if we take these 10,000 compounds have been reviewed at the stage of discovery, but only one compound will be qualifying for this product launch, having passing through all those tedious steps of preclinical development and clinical development after investment of billions of dollars into it. So recently there was a case of withdrawal of a diabetes product by Pfizer. So Danuforglopin or something like that, I'm forgetting that name. So this failures can be at any stage, right from this. If it is at the earlier stage, you won't be feeling the burden of investment. But if it comes at the stage of phase 1 or phase 2, then already a lot of investment might have gone into this stage of bringing that into market. So it is very critical to understand the science as well as the monetary part of that journey of this. Next slide, please. So there are several stages, as I was telling, that with the help of bioinformatic tools, you design your drugs by chemically modification, then the receptor-based drug design, ligand-based drug design, identifying a pharmacophore, then going into the pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics. Next slide, please. ADME tests, absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion kind of thing. Lead optimization, choosing a drug target itself is a huge challenge because over the time it might lose its specificity and efficacy. Next slide, please. So it might result in all these. Next slide, please. It might result in toxicology problems, pharmacological problems. Next slide, please. Yeah, we have seen this example of thalidomide for morning sickness. It was used by the pregnant women, and later on many deformed children have been born because of the toxicity effects. So I just want to say that in this whole journey of this drug discovery and development, your product might fail at any stage. So you should be very prepared and be careful in selecting the studies and investing in this. Next slide, please. So quickly, I would like to bring you one case of world's first non-steroidal contraceptive coming from an academic venture to a national family program, passing through all these stages of drug discovery and development. Because my earlier association was with the Central Drug Research Institute at Lucknow, which is a CSIR institute. This happened, and I'm very proud to say that we could bring this particular product over some years of hard work, which started back in 1970s. And finally, that product has been brought into the market and then released into the markets with several indications. Next slide, please. So this was the program that was given by the Indian government and WHO because at that time all the population control pills or devices were having some hormonal impact and side effects. So CDRI has particularly been given a challenge of bringing out a non-steroidal and non-hormonal kind of molecule for as a contraceptive pill and as an anti-implantation material. So CDRI worked very hard against this challenge, and finally they selected, after several R&D endeavors of choosing that molecules. Next slide, please. And bringing it to a final stages of commercialization. Next slide, please. Excuse me. Next slide, please. Yeah. First, they selected these indoles and coumarines, and they worked very hard for these, and they did not get success because of these side effects. And then chromans were worked and chromines were worked out, and finally they came out with a non-steroidal centchroman, which went into phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 studies, and finally be brought into the market in the name of Saheli. And now, as on today, this government of India is giving this free supply of this chai under the name of chaya to the women of reproductive age for family planning endeavors freely by the government. So this is one great example of commercialization of a product that is coming from a academic venture. So it could be these kind of products and examples could be related to your own aspirations to bring those products into the market and all. So this is one example of commercialization of material that I would like to bring to your notice. Next slide, please. So it has also been repurposed for several other indications like uterine bleeding, breast cancers, head and neck cancers, osteoporosis, endometriosis, etc. So one product, many uses kind of thing. Next, please. Yeah, as I said, it is used for a free family planning supply by the government of India. Next, please. Next slide, please. Yeah, here I come to the end of this session with this note by N.R. Narayan Murthy at one convocation of some university. He says that there has not been a single invention from India in the last 60 years that became a household invention. So I would urge all the people who have been listening to this session to try to come up with some invention which would be earth-shaking and from India. So with this urge, I would take your leave. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for this insightful session. You have traveled us through all the aspects of IP, especially the significance of IP and commercialization. I'm sure that your insights have been like truly inspiring for the audience. So I think now we will move on to the Q&A session.
Right.
So participants, if you have any queries,
Yeah, someone is asking about the PPT. Yes, it could be shared. This is for educational purposes, so it could be shared. And thank you for your acknowledgements. Any specific
so
queries?
sir, there is one query from Anand. So he's asking, does an institution's reputation really matter while trying to identify or negotiating with a potential licensee?
No,
If
no,
so, how important? Yes, sir.
absolutely not. That total evaluation will be based on the potential and the scope of the claims, potential of the patent, scope of the claims, extent of the coverage of your claims and invention. Then, what exactly your invention is trying to meet with the demands of your prospective licensee. And the reputation really doesn't matter, or especially of the institute. Why should it matter? If they are really professional in handling these tech transfer endeavors, it should not matter. I don't think so. Yeah, it is never considered that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
The next query we are having from Bipin Kumar. He's asking, do I need to have a prototype for ensuring my claims?
Yeah, for the grant of patents, sometimes if you give your drawings and all, that should be sufficient for the grant of patent. And if they are not satisfied, the examiners or the controllers, they might ask you for the demonstration by way of a prototype. Yeah, but anyway, you have to demonstrate it to the commercial partner or a licensee, right? Sometimes it may the patent office may ask for that. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So now we have Shami Singh Bhatia.
Yes,
Sir, could you please raise your query? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. It has been a very nice presentation from your part, very knowledgeable. And sir, my question out of curiosity regarding the IPR is that could you please let us know which industry right now in India, they are going for the highest number of patent registrations in the country, sir, per year, if we talk about.
Yeah. Qualcomm, I can say. Qualcomm is the top filer from the private sector.
Okay,
The patent office applications are concerned.
fine,
And
sir.
geo platforms had come up heavily with their patent applications this year. If you see the over the last 5 years, the trends in patent applications in the Indian Patent Office, there has been a significant increase, like 310% increase in applications coming from the MSME sector. So our India was ranking around 80th or 81st rank as far as the WIPO's index. Now this year we rank around 39. So there
39.
has been a significant change in the global platform as far as the IP protection endeavors are concerned from India. And so to say, CSIR is the largest filer from the government organizations are concerned. So
CSIR.
yes, huge
Yeah.
filings.
So that's the reason it has been adjudged as one of the best institutions in
Right.
India, sir. Yeah,
Yes.
that's the reason. Fine, sir. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So we have another query from Shyam Sundar. So
Yes.
how to ensure that academia and HCIs fill the gap between the patented technologies and the requirements of industry to increase commercialization in a shorter span?
Yeah. How to ensure, right? So
Yes.
you need to take your invention very seriously and conform to all the requirements of the patent office or the copyright office or the trademark office, whichever instrument that you would like to protect. That you have to ensure to be taken in time, and then try to say let me come back to the drug related inventions. All these HEIs and universities, they synthesize a molecule and then do some in vitro studies and then prove that yes, this particular molecule is acting against this indication, say diabetes or hypertension or cancer. Then they will be hugely interested in uh, putting it in the public domain. It should not be that way. Take your time, approach the granting agencies. There are many schemes by the government of India to support these higher HEIs for protection of their inventions and take it in, give a hand holding to take it to the commercialization stage. So, what you have to ensure is to protect it by way of filing a patent application in right time with right kind of data, ethical data which can be accepted by the regulatory authorities, and then give it to the entities which can take it further, like CSIR labs or ICMR or any other agency which would be helpful in taking these further. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. The next question from Jansen. In case of drone sector, what can be patented, as it is said that defense will be involved in patents related to drone?
Drones?
Yes.
Drones, right? Yes. Okay. So the actually the section 35 of Indian Patents Act clearly says that these defense related inventions cannot be patented, and it can go further with a decision only after the approval or a decision coming from the secrecy directives from the DRDO or other government agencies. But nobody stops you to go for a filing of a patent application. If the examiner thinks that it can be granted based on the novelty, non-obviousness and utility part, then they will as such clearly give you the grant of a patent. But if they think that yes, this might be under the concern of the secrecy directive, then they put hold on the patent grant process, then refer it to the concerned ministry, and once it is decided there, then they will go further based on that decision. Not every invention will be going into that domain. Yeah.
Um, okay, sir. Thank you, sir. We have another question. Um, Bala is asking, I have been applied design patent. Right now, I'm in the FPR stage. So, is it possible to get?
Sorry, I lost the audio. Design patent is in FER stage.
Yes, yes, sir. Design. He has applied a design patent, and right now is in the FPR stage. So, he's
Right.
asking, is it possible to get grant?
Yeah, yeah. There is a possibility. What if all the criteria have been fulfilled as per the requirements of the act, then there is a possibility of it. That it depends on case to case base, right? There is a possibility if you fulfill the criteria of this application.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Next question is for construction automation, uh, type of prototype. He's asking,
Uh,
how can I apply for patent?
yeah, you can go for a design patent, and for the working of that model, then you can go for a patent application also. So it is for your business prospects or the commercialization prospects, how you would like to take this further, because all the methods and methodology can go as a patent application, or the prototype of that machinery can go as a design application. So design is shorter, it takes shorter period for grant of that design, and a larger usage. So a bundle of rights you can try. It's not only one like patent or a design.
You
If
for answering that question, sir.
yeah.
The next question is from Dr. B. Venugopal Rao.
Mhm.
It says, what is the process of getting funding for patents?
Yeah, there are several schemes by the government of India uh, to uh, to help these startups or people coming from the higher education institutions. I think even AICT has this scheme, right? So there are many. If you can directly give me an email or anything, I can respond to this with a list of resources. So you can approach me through the email.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
The next question is from Anand.
Mhm.
He's asking, can you tell us some of the best practices that can be followed for identifying potential industry or licensee for tech transfer?
Identifying tech transfer or licensee. Okay. So you are the expert in that domain, right? You know the positive value or potential of your product, and you might have brought this product to certain stage based on your experience and expertise in that domain. So identifying a right people, maybe the exhibitions would be one, exhibitions and conferences, trade fairs would be one place where you could approach, or these um, the schemes that are coming up from by the funding agencies or uh, companies which are giving like venture capitalists. So all these can help you out in identifying these. I don't have clear answer for it, because it is in the domain. It is a domain specific endeavor. So since you are the expert in that domain, you know who are the players in that, and how to approach is the individual concern. Since you asked best method or best mode or best practice, uh, I don't have a clear answer for this. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Madan Mohan. He is asking, suppose I have a protected variety through the PPV and FR, but someone else starts multiplying and selling it. What steps can I take, and how does the authority support breeders in such cases?
Yeah. Okay. You can first raise a complaint against them. That would be the initial stage, and based on the closeness of these in comparison, then you can build a case against them. Because I'm not much into these PPVFR kind of thing experience, I cannot give you a clear answer for it. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Sheikh Azaz. He is asking, for construction automation type of prototype, then how can I apply for a patent? And then he writes that the automation type prototype, the website is in beta mode, beta testing.
Okay, automation, if it involves lot of electronics, then the software and hardware, then you have a chance of going for a patent by uh, giving the algorithms in support with the hard associated hardware. Then there is a possibility of getting this patent around that software with a proof on a hardware. Then there is a possibility in India you can get a patent out of it. Abroad, like US and all, you can directly go for a computer algorithm or any other software or a business method, mathematical model there, not in India. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Some of the participants have also raised their hands, so we'll be taking up the questions from them. The first question is from Amit Kumar Tripathi.
Okay.
Sir, I have unmuted you. If you could just unmute and ask your question. Amit Kumar Tripathi ji.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable and highly informative presentation about the patents and the process of patenting. So, I have a question about is it possible to patent for any idea, any information which is novel like that? Is it, because I have an idea to
Yeah.
patent something.
Having an idea in your mind cannot be protected by any way, any instrument of IPRs. Ideas have to be translated into a physical form. Say, suppose if you think about a chemical compound, which, say, suppose if you think about a poem, you that is in your mind, and that's an idea, writing about a poem. So that cannot give you a right, intellectual property right. That can be given as a, by way of a copyright. If you apply for a copyright, that instrument, for that you need to write it on a paper or type it on a computer and save it as a reproducible material. Then apply that for the grant of a copyright. Based on those grants applications, you will be given the copyright. and ideas as such cannot be protected by way of IPRs. This is a clear thing, but they have to be converted into a tangible form. Then you will get a copyright. Store it in a floppy or a CD and submit it to the right, or write it on a paper. That is relating to copyrights. Idea of patent, getting anything patented, then say suppose you think of an idea of having a, say suppose a substituted pyrimidines as anti-diabetic agents. You have, your gut feeling says that yes, this could work, and you imagine a structure around that, and that you have to prove it and put it, you have to prepare it, synthesize it, put it on the table, and do some experiments to prove that this particular chemical compound that I have thought about it and is actually giving this effect. If you examine that in the in vitro and in vivo, giving all the details of in animals, rodents, non-rodents, and all, then it could be protected by way of a patent as one of the IP instrument. Yeah,
Okay, sir.
ideas as such cannot be protected.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Dr. Ishrat Meera Mirzana. He's asking
Right.
for technology transfer, how to decide the cost of licensing. Can you provide brief guidelines?
Oh, there are many ways like cost based and approach, or even you have to consider how much of your resources have gone into the making of this product, then including your laboratory reagents, the manpower resources that you have put in, the eh, uh, like resources like water, electricity, and all they have used it. Then all those small and particular things have to be considered, and then evaluate it, and then over the years how much you have spent on it, what was the budget for your research project. All those have to be taken into consideration, and then give a valuation. There are internet, if you approach the internet, there are many websites which will give you the routes of many routes how to evaluate your inventions and patents, and then the technologies, and then for make it ready for the transfer to be put on the table. Yeah. There are many approaches, it's not only one cost based kind of thing. Yeah.
The next question is from the representative from IISU Incubation Center.
Right.
If you could please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I would like to know that if we are developing a diagnostic product, because as per Section 3(1) of Indian Patent Act, a diagnostic product cannot be patented. But then how innovation can be done in that respect?
So you could go for the components used in that kit. So those could be going for the IP protection, and even this the method of using that, the steps involved in using that can be going into a copyright protection. So there are it's not a straightway kind of patent application that will give you the IP protection. You may have to look for a via media to protect your invention. It's very difficult to understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I would like to know if even the sampling method is different.
Ah,
Like,
yes.
so possible that one can get a patent for it.
That depends on the examiner who is reviewing it, because everything goes, as I was telling, everything goes into this non-obviousness issue. If the examiner thinks that yes, this is an obvious part which is already known in the prior art, then it would be difficult. So the methodology is protected by way of copyrights that you can think of. by way of a literature. So,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for addressing all the questions and for your wonderful session. I will just scroll through the chat box to ensure that there are no questions left unanswered.
If any other question is not there, then we'll move for vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. All the participants, please be aware that you have to pass the evaluation test to get the certification. The link has been
Posted by Shruti in the chat box. Now I would like to request Shri Pradeep Dhage sir, Assistant Innovation Director of Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell, to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Damini. On behalf of entire organizing team of Ministry of Education Innovation Cell, I would like to express my heartfelt thank to our respected speaker, Dr. Kulkarni sir, Sripathi Kulkarni sir, for insightful session on the significance of IP protection and commercialization. I was very closely not only observing but taking notes of the today's session also, and I found this will truly help to understand the value of intellectual property and how to protect and commercialize at an individual business level for the students and the faculties of entire nation. This will also help us to not only understand but the value of start practicing the IP commercialization related assignments as well. Whoever has already filed the IP, for example, you can certainly take the help of this session in near future also with the recording part, and this will help. So with this reference, I would like to again thank you, sir, Sripathi sir, Dr. Sripathi Kulkarni sir. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, experience with us. It was a privilege to learn from you during this entire session, and we are celebrating this IP also with this intent only, so that our audience shall not only motivate from the IP domain, but shall actually educate how the IP practices used to follow in India and overseas as well. So with this reference, I'm very much thankful to you, sir. As Damini has already conveyed the message to all the participants that you have to follow this the questionnaire for the further certifications and all. So please do follow this one. Thank you once again. I, Pradeep Dhage, I sign off for this session. Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Thank you all audience. Thank you.